Over 48,000 University of California student and graduate workers went on strike today, sacrificing a day's pay to make their voices heard. The UC system asking tonight for a third-party mediator to oversee negotiations. Our Esteban Reynosa with more from UC Merced, where over 800 employees chose to strike.
Day one of the university workers' labor strike ended in the early afternoon hours. However, they say they'll be back out here again. Student and graduate workers were out here chanting and with signs, hoping for more pay.
What do we want? What do we want?
We've had enough, Like, at some point, we've all gone past, like a breaking point where, for me, like, pay is the biggest one. I'm sure for a lot of other people.
Normally on a Monday, Ashwin Thomas would be working his university job right now, but not today. Like many of his colleagues, he decided to take a day without pay to strike in front of the university's main entrance. He, like many others in his position, see the fight for higher wages worth more than their current hourly rate.
It's like a lot of other Americans piling on debt, credit cards. We all know it's not what you're supposed to do, but we're doing it anyway because we got to eat.
You can see from the attendance here that this is how important this is to workers. They're willing to risk everything.
Mark Woodall is a representative for the workers union. He says the overwhelming amount of people who wanted a strike shows just how fed up employees really are.
This sets us behind in our own work, in our own studies, in our own scholarship, in our own research, but it's necessary.
The University of Merced says no classes were canceled or disrupted because of the strikes.
We made sure to contact our faculty and made sure that courses run as usual. Students need to expect that classes are going to continue throughout the whole week or until they reach an agreement.
On the University of California website, they say they've offered increases of up to 7% to a majority of student workers to bring their salary to a maximum of just over $30,000 a year. For several students, it isn't enough.
It'll be up to us to decide whether we keep this on. If it works for us, I think collectively we'll decide whether to go back to work, but as long as it takes.
We just learned the UC system is asking for a moderator to overlook all of the negotiations between the union and the universities. One representative tells me they've already met 50 times over the last 3 days. In the meantime, strikers tell me they'll be back out here the rest of the week until negotiations are met. In Merced, Esteban Reynosa, KC24 Local News and Matters.